Hello YouTube, how you doing? Here we are back again. We're looking at this, or going through together, this Alfred's Basic Adult Piano Course Lesson Book Level 1. Well, it started off as me talking to my baby sister, but lots of people are jumping on, so let's do this. And as always, I am on page 38, so if this is the first time you're watching this video, there are previous videos that cover 1 through where we are now. If you have this book, then let's turn to page 38, and what we're going to see, we're in G position here. So that's G position for the left hand. And here it is for the right hand. So we needed to do a little study to see not only where those notes are on the keyboard, G, A, B, C, D, G, A, B, C, D, but where they are on the musical staff as well. So we dealt with that in the last video. And we dealt with it in C position as well. There's C position, C, D, E, F, G. Where are those notes on the keyboard? And where are those notes in both left hand and right hand on the musical staff? But now we move to G position. And we learned a G chord, left hand, right hand. We learned a D7 chord, left hand, right hand. And so that's kind of where we are. So now we're up to page 38, and we see a C chord. So well, I already know a C chord. I played it like that earlier. Well, all that is taking that C off the bottom and putting it up here on the top, and voila, and then do that again. So let's talk about inversions just for a second. I talk about that a lot in my I don't want to read music kind of course, play by chords, play by ear. But the notes that we're dealing with, let's take a C triad. Triad, 3, tricycle, triathlon, 3. We are dealing with 3 notes, so that means there are 3 inversions. So if I take this C and put it up here, I got the same chord. That's called first inversion. First inversion, think of it as a horse race going this way. Right? C is now in first place. Here C is on the bottom, so we call it root position. Here C is in first place. So we are dealing with the same 3 notes, except for we're in first inversion. Okay? Now we're going to go here. Now C is in second place. See that C there? Now we call that C. Same note, but it's the same chord. Same 3 notes, C, E, and G. Just the order has changed. Something's in my throat here. The order of the notes have changed, and we call those inversions. The book is not telling you to do this, but I am telling you that's not a bad thing to do. C, root position. C, first inversion. C, second inversion. Now, I can do that in my right hand as well. C, root position, first inversion, second inversion. And oh, by the way, that second inversion C chord is exactly what you see on page 38. This chord. Why? Because it's in close proximity to this chord we already know. There's a G chord. We want to go to C. We chose that inversion, or the book chose that inversion. See, so now everything we're learning is in close proximity to each other. We have a name for that in music. We call that voice leading. We don't want to be jumping all over the place. So we choose inversions based on voice leading. Well, we choose it a couple other reasons, but we'll get into that maybe later. Now on page 38, that's another one I call a pause page. Don't rush past this page because 38 is really for the left hand. We know this chord, G major. Now we need this chord. Anytime there is something new, we need muscle memory. We do that many times until our muscles get used to that. And we add things like rhythm patterns to it. Maybe, let me see. I don't know. Let's pick a drum beat, and I won't do it long, but you do it long. I see something hip hoppy here, so here we go. I don't know what it's gonna sound like. Let's go. So in the D7 chord, we know already. So these are foundational skills that make you fluent. But here's a new chord, C major. C major. So 38 is having you practice going from G major to C major. Now, I want to talk a little bit of theory here. Again, it's not in the book. I want you to notice a few things about the two positions that we've studied so far. So far we've studied C position. Now, from now on, when you think C position, you think that you're in the key of C. There are 12 keys, and right now we're in the key of C. The scale associated with the key of C is those notes happen to be all white notes. I can play it up here. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Those notes, that is the scale of C major, right? Now we take these notes, and not only do we see the note name, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, we also number those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, right? And the way we came up with the chords are 1, 3, 5. That's how we came up with the C chord. Now, follow me on this. We moved from, when we were in C position, we learned an F chord. Well, first we learned the G7 chord. Well, what is G relative to C? Well, just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So already we're going to learn that if we're playing a G chord, that is the 5 chord in the key of C. 1 chord, 5, 1. We also learn an F chord. What's the F in the key of C? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the 4 chord. So we learned a 1 chord, a 4 chord, and a 5 chord. Now, let me show you how symmetrical music is. Let's move to the G scale, or G position. So you start thinking of this as we just changed the key to the key of G. 1, let me tell you the entire, there is the G scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Those are the notes that comprise the G scale. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and then G. Now we can number these as well. 1, 3, 5. That's the 1 chord. Last time in the last video we learned this D7 chord. That chord. Well, what is this D relative to G? Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, you seeing the similarities? So we learned the 1 chord, the 5 chord last time. This time we're going to learn this chord. That's a C chord. Well, in the key of G, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 4 chord. So let's go back to the key of C, 1 chord, 4 chord. In the key of G, 1 chord, 4 chord. In the key of C, 1 chord, G7, that's the 5 chord. In C, I think I said G. In C, but in G, 1 chord, 5 chord. Let's look at this even deeper. How do I get from one chord to the other? What's going on here? What's moving? What's not moving? This kind of detailed analysis will help you, because eventually you're going to learn all 12 keys. Eventually. So here is the chord C. If I wanted to get to a G7, right? Notice this note is going here. This note staying the same, and that note is going down a half step. So the E is going up a half step, and the C is going down a half step, and the G is staying the same, right? Now let's compare that to a G chord, right? The B is going up a half step, and the G is going down a half step. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. And oh, by the way, when you learn more keys, it's going to be the same as this. So let's go back to the key of C. Now, how do I get to the 4 chord? That's F in the key of C. This E is going up a half step to here, right? And this G is going up a whole step. E up a half step, G up a whole step. Or to use numbers, the 3 is up a half step, and the 5 is up a whole step, and we're going to end up here. Now let's go to G position. How did I get to the 4 chord, which is C? Well, that B is going up a half step, and that D is going up a whole step. Precisely the same. That's good information for you to start meditating on, marinating on, because that's going to be true in any key. So instead of having to remember 12 different keys and 100 different notes, you see these little patterns that you can latch on to and apply them to any old key. Now, before I go on with the book, because I have definitely digressed from the book, let me give you the formula for a major scale. Let's take C. Let me play it up here. That's the C major scale. The formula for that is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So what is a half step? A half step is going up or down without missing any notes. So if I'm on C and I went down a half step, I'd end up here. There are no notes between those two notes. If I go up a half step, I'll end up here. There are no notes between black or white key. There are no notes in between those two notes. All half steps. And a whole step is simply 2 half steps. So from here to here is a whole step. From here to here, my dogs are being dogs. That's a whole step. Why? Because there's a note in between there. So let me go back to the key of C again. The formula for any of the 12 scales is whole, whole, half. Whole, 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 half. So start. Now let's follow the formula. Whole, whole, half. Whole, 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 half. You can find any of the 12 keys using that formula. Let's go to the key of G, which is where we are now. Let's see if the formula holds. Okay, we start. Then it's whole, whole, half. Whole, 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 half. Okay, enough theory for today. Let's see. Now we're on page 39. And we're going to get a little bit of a waltz rhythm going on with this. Up at the top of page 39, we got a G chord for 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, right? And then we're going to play this waltzy thing. Now, again, I would just play that for a while. Just work on G, and then get used to that. That's that ice skating kind of thing. G, bottom, top, top, bottom, top, top, bottom, top, top. Now it wants you to do that with all 3 chords you know in the G family. So let's try it with C. Bottom. So we first play the C chord, right? And then we go bottom, top, top, bottom, top, top. Maybe do a G again. Boom, bottom, top, top. Now we got a D7 chord. Now we got bottom, top, top, bottom, top, top, bottom, top, top. Now, doesn't matter how slow you do that. You know what my philosophy is? Accuracy way more than speed. Doesn't matter how slow you have to play it. Maybe you have to play it like, that's fine. But if you're not getting it clean, that means slow down. Let's do a D7. Okay, so let's do a C. D7, and finally G. Okay, so on 39, we need to, so let's just play this beautiful Brown Eyes slowly. So what the notes are, again, I'll repeat some things. If you are forgetting, if you're sight reading this and you're forgetting, what is that note? In pencil, feel free to write that on there, but you're ready to erase it as soon as possible. Please, please, please do not just write every note on there. You're never going to be a sight reader that way. So if you need a little crutch, go ahead and take it. But the next time you practice this song, erase all of that and see if you remember that. So the first few bars are gonna sound like. Let's continue. Oops. Kind of messed that up at the end. I did that on purpose. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. So, how would I approach this if I were just starting off? Well, I probably would chunk this. What I mean by chunking is I probably wouldn't try to play the whole song. Maybe I'll try to play the first line. The first line is, so here are some things you want to get clean. Did you start that chord and this note B at the same time? Right? They go together. They're right up under each other. And now the treadmill of rhythm. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now those lines in the left hand mean you don't play that chord again. You just let it rain. Now you see that third bar, I got to get this C and that G lined up. So we got get the idea. So if you practice that warm up at the top and take this beautiful brown eyes, a little chunk at a time until you can put the whole thing together. Maybe some of you just have to play the right hand by itself. Maybe you have to read those notes. Or maybe you have to play the left hand by itself. Da, 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 da. So it's a little bit of coordination going on, but I think by now, I think you got it, and I think you kind of know what the song is supposed to sort of sound like. Now, we're going to do 40 and 41 because 42 starts a whole new position, so we're going to end it on these 2 pages. On page 40, now we're going to do the same thing we did in the left hand, now we're going to do that in the right hand. We're going to do a G chord and then a C chord. Notice where that note is on the staff. That's new. That's new for you. That's a new note, not only on the piano, but that's a new note on the musical staff as well. So when you see it in music, you'll be able to recognize it. So this is another pause pace to get that muscle memory. Bump, bump. Now once you have the right hand, you can do actually hands together. Book's not telling you to do that. Let's do some D7. To make the sound fuller, but it's also good coordination. In other words, you are getting this foundation really solidified. So there's another warm-up using the right hand. So that goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then there's a repeat sign, which means go back and play that a lot. Actually, this means go back and play it once. Now, Alpine Melody is another one you might want to chunk a little bit because there is a dance going on between the left hand and the right hand. Let's just do maybe the first couple of measures. So we got boom. Let's just do that much. So almost everybody is going to fumble around because now which one, your brain says which one you want me to think about, left hand or right hand. Keep your eye on the book and then you'll be fine. And go slow. Boom. Oops, sorry. Let's start over again. Now notice that your left hand is playing this, right? Your left hand's playing this, except for just going. It's playing a G chord, it's just broken. So 1. Now what you see in the right hand or in the treble clef is a quarter note rest, which means the left hand's going to come in first. 1. Now I'm playing a D7, just a broken chord. You notice my left hand is going D, C, F sharp, and then you got 2 D. So let's do the top line slowly. Okay, so you want to get that right pretty good. If you get the top line, well, the rest of the lines will be a lot easier. Okay, so let's see if we can get through the whole song so you can hear kind of what it's supposed to sound like. I'll start at the beginning and I'll go slow. then it says play both hands 8 VA, 1 octave higher. Okay, so that means you're now in this position. And it would sound something like that up in ice cream land. Okay, so that takes care of up to 41. Now, this is a good time to go back and review everything, because we're gonna start this middle C thing. Maybe go back and watch the other videos. You really want to get this foundational stuff down really well before you just run through this whole book. And I know I've said that 100 times already. So far, we've got some basic foundation stuff. We learned how to read some notes on the staff. We've got 2 positions in mind. We got C position and we got G position. And we know some chords in each one of those positions. So this might be a good time not only to address these 3 or 4 pages I just went over, but go back and really address everything. Clean up some holes. And when you do that, next few days, I'll come back and we will start off on a brand new position, middle C position. Happy practicing, Mike in Detroit. Any questions? Comment section. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.